Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to my first impressions video of the TWSBI Swipe. I've got two of them here. Initially I was just going to get the one in smoke, but I was so impressed with it that a few days later I ordered the Prussian Blue, so we're going to look at both of them, and I have both of them inked up. This one I've been writing with this is the 6th day, so this really is an early impression, or first impression sort of, and so let's just get started. This is TWSBI's first cartridge converter pen, which is so exciting to me. And here in the US, they include a cartridge and two converters. They include this spring converter and a regular one that looks like this without the spring. But I've got both of those in use because I'm not really sure what I think about this one. That'll take me a little longer to play with and talk about. But anyway, let's look at the pens real good. I'm going to get the other one out. On the way, we'll look at the packaging. It's a nice little cardboard slip case and a tiny little box. They were very conservative with the space, I think. These things were inside. Actually, the spring converter was in the pen, but I took it out right away because I knew that I wasn't going to use it. I don't know why. I just like the other one better, and then this is all you get. Optional use with cartridge. Okay, so this little thing explains that you can use, if you want to, this spring with a cartridge. And that's another, these things won't get much use in my house, but I can understand that some people would use them. So that's kind of neat. Very generous, actually, of the company. Okay, so I got the broad in the Prussian Blue and the medium in the smoke, and these are the two colors that they have at the moment. So let's get that out of the way. Okay, let's look at the smoke one to start with. I like it because it's demonstrator like. You have the ink window in both of them, but I like the fact that you can see all the way in to the sheer smoke one. It's quite nice, actually. You can even see the sealed cap there. So let's look at the finials. Pretty neat. These look quite a bit like the one on the Go. Here's the Go in my left hand, and yet they have had to disturb the outer part for the clip, so it's a little bit different. Whoops. That's what I get for wearing glasses and all kinds of awkward setup here, but okay. And then of course they have the clip. This clip seems tight. I was using it to, here's a little notebook. Okay, it'll go on the notebook, but it's tight. Very tight. And another thing I wanted to mention was that when I first opened these, this part here, the barrel, I guess it's the barrel, yeah. This part was so tight. I could do it with the smoke one, but with the Prussian Blue one, I actually had to have Manuel open it for me. So don't be surprised if it feels like it's cemented on, but once you get past that, of course, it's up to you. I would just suggest not over-tightening it. So, very interesting. And the fact that you could eyedropper it, maybe that's really, really good, but I mean, I needed more strength to get in there. Okay, I don't know why I keep doing that. I wanted to show so the converters that I'm using are the plain ones versus the little, oh, the spring one. Where did I do with it? Well, I threw it back in the box. So to me, they are very much alike, except for there's a bigger chrome area here, and yeah, if you sat it up in there, it would look quite a bit different. So they're not exactly the same, but I just like the looks of this one a lot better. I just could dream of the ink getting stuck in there, especially since I used a shimmer ink in this one, in the Prussian Blue. In fact, let me show you what I used. I used Diamine Earl Grey in the smoke one. I love that it's a snap cap. And I used J. Herbin 1798 Kianit du Nepal in the Prussian Blue, even though it's not a match. It's just one of my favorite inks that I have a bottle, and it's a shimmer ink. So I thought that would help because, yeah, it'll give me a good impression to give you when I come back with my progress report in mid-August. So, okay. I have this feeling like I'm forgetting stuff. I really want to show you the pen, but my brain skips all over. So the ink window is really, really useful. I like that on both of them. And then the TWSBI logo is at the end, right there. Let's see. There we go. Got to get lighting and camera just on it so we can see it good. And then the end is, there's the ends. It seems to really favor the lighting that's coming toward the window today. That seems to be what the camera wants. So, okay, let's see. So tight clip, but it's useful and nice. I'm not sure. I don't use clips on a shirt or anything like that. And the seal and the cap looks just amazing. That'll be really good, I'm sure. I'm really a big TWSBI fan, so I knew I had to try at least one. And then when I got this one, I realized how nice this would be for reviewing if I had a medium and a broad. So let's compare these to some other TWSBI pens. Actually, two non-TWSBI and two TWSBI pens. Okay, so this is the Eco. So here we are. It's going to be hard. Let me bring over my little measuring thing here, just to have something for that clip to show. And then the TWSBI Eco. Ooh, there's cat hair. That's going to get us in trouble when we start writing. And the TWSBI Go. And then I thought that these two pens, the way I outfit my Genhao X750s, it puts it in the ballpark anyway, price-wise, and certainly it's a cartridge converter pen. And then the Lamy Safari, I felt like that was right in the ballpark. It's the top of the price range of these, and it has that really easy to swap nib. But other than that, you're looking at the same basic thing, except well, I haven't found it as easy to take those apart. That could be me, but okay. So I have a little chart, but I just wanted to do this part first because I wanted to show you how my thought process was, and I really don't do as well unless I have a visual. So here we go. Okay, this is kind of how I was thinking about it. I feel as if this pen falls right in the middle of TWSBI's entry-level pens, and basically they have three. They have the Go, the Swipe, and the Eco. And so for $18.99, this is all very approximate because it's just what I could find right now here in the US. It's going to vary different places. $18.99 for the Go in 3 colors that you can choose from, with this interesting spring mechanism. So that puts it different right away. You're not dealing with a cartridge converter. And then the Swipe, for $8 more, you can get the Swipe for $26.99 in presently 2 colors. And you can use the standard international cartridge or the TWSBI cartridges that come with it. Well, you get one per pen, and then you can order separately. You could eyedropper it, and it's got the nice snap cap. So these two have the snap caps. Well, the Lamy Safari does too. So that gives you another one to compare that with. Okay, and then the Eco being the top of the line of their economical pens, $32.99. And of course, that's all relative. But for me, these pens fall in the mid-range because generally speaking, except for windfalls, I don't really want to spend more than $30 for a pen. That's usually for me. So for $6 more than the Swipe, you could get the Eco. It comes in tons of colors, and you are dealing then with a piston fill and a threaded cap. but it's not like tons of threading. You're in and out pretty quickly. So with this pen, if you're a newbie and you're trying to decide, say, between these three pens, the Go, the Swipe, and the Eco, I think you'd want to think a little bit about maintenance and what you might have to learn when. And if things like tinkering at all don't bother you, then you're good with any of these pens. But it took me a little bit to get comfortable with the Go, and now I am comfortable taking it apart and greasing the piston on the spring mechanism and everything. So I do notice I have some purple staining there. Interesting. Then with this pen, you'd have the easiest experience, I think.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Because you're talking about a cartridge converter pen and the ability to take this cartridge apart. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to do that because the one that we have out, we can do it with. So super simple. It's so nice to be able to do that. They just screw right apart. And I tried it with both of them. So, oh, I let the little agitator ball fall right out. Okay, so it's easy to get in there and clean it, which is so nice. Now I did see there was a little, well, maybe that's the other one. There was a little bit of a ridge on the other one, but it's just super easy. Super. That I just can't imagine what that's going to change for me, because that's my frustration with the Lamy, is that I'm always staining the converters. This one is probably a newer converter because it looks good, but I'm always staining them and having to fuss with cleaning them. So, and that actually, this converter is a little different and newer, so there may be something more I can do with that one. Some of my older ones I really get fussy with. But when it comes to the TWSBI Eco, then I always have to watch a video when I'm going to use the wrench and open it up and grease right under, you know, over this piston, which doesn't have to be done very often at all. In fact, the first one that I had to do was a TWSBI Mini, and then after that it was an Eco, and then a Diamond 580. So I don't just pick these up and do it yet. I have to watch a video on these. This one I figured out now, but so it's not to discourage anybody, because that's not an everyday occurrence, but you want to think about it. If you're coming into the hobby and you're just wanting to write and you don't want to have to learn the stuff yet. So I don't know if this would be useful. Like I said, the Lamy Safari doesn't come with a converter generally, unless you get like a gift package. So you are looking about a few dollars more than the Eco. And then I find that the nibs easier to swap on these. I'm not chicken of it. I'm not worried about hurting that feed, and I just use a little grippy thing and I just pull the nibs off. So I just love it. I love that. I mean, I can be doing an ink test and just switch the nib right in the middle of it. So that, you know, you really can't beat that. Except that it is a different experience because the nibs aren't the same. So this is the number 4 TWSBI nib. And then this is the standard Lamy nib. It's the Lamy nib's a little shorter, and they're both steel and quite stiff, but still there is a difference. Okay, I think we need to write with these two. I think it's time, because I don't want to run out of time, that's for sure. So I have the Lockbee A5 booklet. Is that what you call it? Let's see. I'll take a better look at it. With 68 GSM Tomoe River paper. So, well, I haven't done a lot in this one yet. So here we go. Now I'll have to make it bigger. Okay, so let's get our ink tiles too, just for the fun of it. Okay, yesterday I had such a disaster, and it was a really good thing that I did, because I had, unknown to me, it was just a good thing that I couldn't get the video done, because I had this pen inked up with an exciting ink that came in my order from, I won't say where because I don't want to give this away, but then I didn't know anything about the ink, so I shot a quick email to them. They had included the ink in my order, and it wasn't supposed to be talked about yet, so I had to go ahead and clean the pen and hide the part in my ink journal book. Let's see, where did I put that? I had to put a little secret thing on top because we'll be able to talk about that ink, but not yet. So, woo, I was glad. And it was a miscommunication, so anyway, I won't say any more. I don't want to give it away. Okay, so this is TWSBI Swipe Medium, and it's Diamine Earl Grey. And in addition to that snafu with the ink, which I didn't learn about till I was just about ready to try to upload the video, my cat had basically come in and dive bombed the whole set, bumped the camera, you know, just Coco. And then Willie got sick, his tummy was upset, and I had to just drop everything. Well, I had finished the video, but when I watched it, stuff wasn't in frame. I was very unhappy, but I was saved by the bell because it was really nice that I didn't go ahead and start a stir about something that isn't available yet. I just didn't know. Oh. Okay, so there's that one. And then this one is, Manuel's working hard. Okay, the Prussian Blue with the shimmer ink, and I'll tell you, I am super happy with this nib. The TWSBI Broad nibs that I've gotten haven't all been exactly the same. I hate to have to say that, but it's true. And so I was just tickled with this one because it's great. I like a fire hose. And I heard someone say theirs was too wet of a writer, and I was thinking, oh, I got another one that isn't that I'll swap you with. Swipe Broad. But yeah, that's nice. Well, and this ink is very flowy too. The Jerbon Kianit du Nepal is fantastic. Oops. I seem to find, but I don't know if it's just me, or maybe I have a wider tolerance with my medium nibs, where the medium nibs, I use them almost exclusively in my journals, not for letter writing. So I probably have a wider tolerance of, you know, too thin of a line to too thick of a line for a medium. I don't think I'd be that fussy, but I also have felt like TWSBI's medium nibs in this size are very consistent, but it just could be me. With the broad, yeah, I like it. I like them to be super wide like that. I mean, you can really tell the difference between the medium and the broad. And part of that is ink, because we're talking about comparing not apples to apples there. Very nice. Okay, so I think it's time for me for right now to talk about, you know, some of the things I really like and some of the things I don't like about this pen. And there's not much to not like. I have buried my paperwork here. Okay, but before we actually do that, couple thoughts that I didn't, I knew this was going to happen. My brain has been like this lately. That's why you haven't seen as many videos, because I feel like I've got you know, it's skipping or something. But on the grip, it is different from the Eco and from the Go in that it doesn't have a suggested or forced grip, but I end up writing right up on the, oh goodness, I wanted it to focus. It's got kind of a ridge there, and I cannot seem to break myself of holding that, and then my finger underneath just kind of rests down there. But my thumb and my index finger want to be all the way at the end. They don't want to be here. It doesn't feel right. So that's an interesting thing. I wonder if I'm going to wind up getting inky. But it doesn't matter. I mean, so far so good. I've used this one with the smoke for 6 days in my journal, both my bullet journal and my process journal, and I've not come out of it all you know, gray or whatever. So, but that's something. And the other thing I wanted to just, we could explore for a minute here, let's see if we're not too long yet, was the weight, because I felt like, now these two are both inked up, so it's probably approximately fair. It's not going to be, you know, scientifically right from the empty pen coming to you, but let's do the weight on it. Let's see. Try to get it centered there. So 17.8, let's see, it says hold. I need to just, okay, 17.8. Now let's try the Go, because I would have said this was lighter, a lot lighter than the Go, but let's see. But it really isn't that much difference. They're grams, 18.5. Like I said, both of them are inked. Oh, it just doesn't want to make up its mind. Isn't that funny how you can get a different one? It's probably people walking across the floor or me touching the desk. You know, it's very touchy, but that's a very close. Let's grab that Eco. Well, but that one doesn't have ink in it. Well, it's not fair, but it's going to be ballpark. Okay, so 21.0. The lightness or the weight of the swipe doesn't seem to be a big deal to me. But at first I thought, wow, this is like the lightest pen I have. I don't know. You know, but no, it's felt very comfortable. I heard other people say you could post it, so I should try that. I don't post it. I don't need to, and I really don't want to, but it's a light pen. It doesn't add much to it. So I probably should have experimented with that, but I just don't like to. I usually grip the I grip the cap that I'm writing with, or I carefully set it up and kind of hover, like, you know, when you're a kid, you hover so that your siblings don't take your food, because it's cats. Having cats, they dive bomb me sometimes, so. Okay, so that was the weight issue. Then let's just get right into it here. Okay, so what I love about these pens, they're super easy to clean, especially that converter part, because it's only my fault that I don't usually pull the nib and feed. People are trying to work me out of that chicken liver or whatever, and that I don't want to pull them, because I once ruined a feed, not on a TWSBI, but on a Gen How, and I wasn't very happy. I was really unhappy with doing that. So I guess expected that that could happen with this one. But people do it all the time, you know. It's just me. That's a quirk of me, so you need to know that. The other thing is the price is good for me. I mean, I still had to think about it, because it's almost $30, and certainly by the time you pay your shipping, it is $30. So, but it's in my pen budget, my pen allowance. And then the converters being included, that's a huge plus. I mean, I don't know why they included two for the United States, you know, market. I don't know why they included this one too. Somebody needs to tell me what the advantage is to having this, because I don't know. Having the spring. I don't know. I mean, interesting anyway. I have a lot to learn. And then the fact the converters come apart, that's another one on my pro side. Gee whiz, I mean, just thinking about the trouble I've had with my Lamy ones. And I don't mean to pick on Lamy, but when it comes to these Gen How ones, and you get these same converters on the Gen How, on the dollar pens, you know, the ones you can order, you know, a dozen. And they seem to clean up better than the Lamy converters. So that's one of my only things I don't like about the Lamys. Okay, so, I mean, but that's pretty minor, because I've gotten where I can clean them pretty good. Let's see. No forced grip. I think that would be something for those of you that don't like it. Whoa! I've been tossing that around a little. I can see the ink. See that? It's pretty, but I should probably be a little more careful. Okay. Oh yeah, the fact that the snap cap, that's quick for note taking. So down below I wrote down, I think that reviewers and students would just love this pen. That's my first kind of, you know, with about a week with this one, and this has just come in. And if you like the Easy Care pens. And then I also wrote down my why on getting these. Well, I thought right away about the greatness of 30 inks 30 days and having a couple pens like this that I could use and not worry about the shimmer inks or anything, just clean them up real easily. Inks that need a pen like this, I wrote, whatever that means. Okay, so on the other side, things that I, you know, what might be seen as a downer for me would be that there's only the two colors. You know, I'm a purple person and I'm also a clear demonstrator person. I love the absolute clear demonstrators, but we just have to give TWSBI time because they're just starting with this, and it's such a blessing they decided to make a cartridge converter pen. So I would love to see this model in a all clear, even with the little things that happen, like I stain my pens sometimes. It takes me a little bit to get them unstained. And then the other thing is what I already talked about, which is a quirk just to me and to some of us. I don't like to pull the nib and feed, but I will get over that. I've got one that I can sacrifice. I mean, I'd still be super careful because I don't ever want to wreck a feed, and I'm sure it could be replaced if I do, but that's just a quirk. So I think I like it. I like it a lot. I don't say that I like the looks of these pens better than either of these, though. I actually like the look of the Go better than the Swipe. Part of that might be because I don't care about a clip at all, and because I like the way the finial on the Go is so clean. I like that. But that's nitpicky, ridiculous nitpicky. So, and you know, at first I didn't really care for the spring that much. Of course, it's a little more subtle on the blue one, and the smoke one, it's even more subtle. I got that one put up though. So that's it, folks. I think it's worth the money. I think TWSBI pens are great, and I don't have any other pen brand that I own more of than TWSBI, because once I discovered them, somewhere toward the end of my first year, something like that, I just decided, wow, these are like, they're ready to go, and they don't dry up on me, and they always write, you know. I mean, later on I discovered there could be some variation in the nibs, but like I said, the medium ones never really bother me. I've got that plus or minus that I can yeah, so I think it's great, and I'm excited, and I hope this won't be the only model that they do. I hope they'll go ahead and see that a lot of people do like them, and they like cartridge converter pens, because that would be really cool, really nice. So that's my 300 cents, I guess. Let me know what you think in the comments. I've heard mostly good stuff so far, but I'd love to hear anything you have to say. So I'll see you next time, and hopefully you got something out of this that'll be helpful. And I'll drop a bunch of measurements and things like that in the description box. Stuff that I don't really always worry so much about, but it might be helpful to you. So I'll see you next time. Bye for now.